That means another live stream. We also got microphone deck. Let's see how loud we can make this one for you guys, right and early. I don't know if they're going to work, but some people were commenting saying, you guys need mics. Ah. And we've tried it, but we finally, I think, maybe, possibly, don't quote me on it, got it figured out. Again, possibly. So we got some interesting ones. Our record did get beaten by a couple hundredths. So we're going to talk about that one. We also go on see this. So extend a Reno, charge pipe a Reno to hit into the intake Shimano. So we got that going. We still got to plumb up the water lines. Obviously, it was a air to air before. Now it is not. Sorry, it was actually an air to water because it was a PD blower. So we're reusing that. Obviously, you can see we got this set up. We just need to loop around back now. Gang, 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 gang. And then we can gang, gang into this gung. So, you know, still work in progress, but she's coming along. All this billet, I mean, it is a sexy sight to see. So I can't wait. I can't wait to have my setup looking something like this. What's up, Justin? My main man, giving them hell. See what else we's got cooking. We got my boy Arturo. He's over here. And doing a little nitrous express plate, baby. So this car initially came in. It's a built 426 nitrous car. He wanted a 200 shot. However, the kit that he had on before, it was one of those injector nozzles, like kind of down there. I don't know if we have it out and about. We do. I'm not going to show the brand, but it's one of these. So you have fuel coming this side, nitrous coming this side, and then it comes out together. This is all the spray you can get. So this is actually limited. This, they only rate up to 125 horsepower. He wanted a 200 shot. So we said, you know what? If we're going to do that, why stop at 200? So we got him a 400 shot capable throttle body kit. That way, if he ever wants to go crazier, he certainly can. These have 2 ports that will allow a lot more flow. It's all about flow, baby. Same kind of setup with fuel lines. If you only have such one big hole, ain't no good. You know what I mean? If you don't, figure it out. But you can only force so much go sauce through this little hole. So, and then there's your old solenoid. So we got rid of those, got rid of the wire, not wire line, got rid of the old solenoid with the little testy button on her. You can just have someone held in your engine bay and give her the go juice. So we also got this beautiful Whipple car in. This one had a vacuum leak. It was we were tuning her after getting the Whipple back from a warranty exchange. We were doing some tuning. And we were just noticing a fuel variant. So it's one of those, you know, it could be intake, could be exhaust, could be O2 sensor. So obviously we start up here because it's easiest. Lo and behold, bypass valve gasket was leaking. So got a new gasket installed. Leak's gone away. Obviously we sold the smoke machine out because the fellas be on lunch. Excuse me, I just ate. Speaking of lunch, that Panda Express do be hitting. They're going to come back. They're going to kind of where we are with that. It's one of those, sometimes stuff just happens. It's a new unit back. There was a leak from the bypass valve. It just happens sometimes. So we are also still waiting on oil pan and a oil pump for this ProCharge Jeep. I miss you too, Jeff, my main man. We're still waiting on a oil pan, windage tray, oil pump. Doing a melling, high volume, standard pressure. Makes no sense to crank up the pressure when all you really need is the volumes. So we just go for the volumes. As far as the sturdy Subaru sitting over yonder ways, the radiator is out. But what's not out is the exhaust cam phaser, which if you remember last time when we discovered what the problem was, it was that pesky exhaust cam phaser. We're still waiting on it, brother. We're still waiting on it. At some point in time, it will come in. Actually, by the way, when I said a windage tray, I lied about it. Fresh off the goodly. So, Jeff, here's the thing. My friend All Motor Rex, he said, I need some parts to get my stuff back together for the next season. So he ordered some OEM parts from us, and I was packing the box, and I said, I'm just gonna fill it with junk. So I just grabbed a bunch of trash off my desk. Not really. I gave him some jerky, gave him some candy. I found a keychain, just threw that in, and then I had a boost gauge sitting on my desk. My desk. So I just threw that in there. I'm not implying he should do anything. He is all Motor X, not all Boost X, but in case he wants to, I gave. I'm not doing anything with it. That one, I want to say that one came out of the Magnum. It was either the Magnum or the Sonic, but either or. A little Subaru, and you got the Subaru Performance Tuning carbon fibre, baby. Woo. And you got the little FCY wing mounts, FDY, I don't know. But my sister's husband, he's got the Subaru Performance Tuning carbon B-pillar covers and out in it. But this thing, it's fascinating. I don't know what this switch is for. I really don't. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna find it out together. I'm gonna do a watt pull, and we're gonna flip the switch and see what it does. Come over here real quick, see what AO's getting into. Oh yeah, baby. But you can get an idea of what's going on, and it's a whole bunch of machining. A whole bunch. So this one is running. This one, not so much, but these are the beautiful sounds you get to listen to. Look at all these fittings my boy AO has made. He has handcrafted these out of his love and care. If you want one, I don't know if we're selling them. I don't think we're selling them separate. I think we're making them for something, but I don't know. Who knows? Not me. That's why they put me in charge of the live stream, because I don't got to know nothing. Just kidding. But speaking of knowing things, let's go talk to the all-knowing, ever-powerful Mr. Jeremy. What's cracking, Captain? You feeling full after that lunch?
I feel much better.
Yeah?
I do feel better, yes.
It was good.
I had a headache, so.
It was good. I kind of feel a little bit crazy. I don't know if that's related, because they did sauce that stuff down, but
yeah,
feeling a little yak attack coming about.
Do you? Look how short we look, Tulo.
We do.
And this how it works. Jeremy will adjust it and encompass both of us, and then Tulo will sit up. And then
I'm going to touch it and mess with it.
Yeah.
So, what did we get from Panda?
What did we get from Panda? Can we say that?
Sure.
I don't know how this works on YouTube.
YouTube, if we talk negative, they might, cease and desist. But we're not talking negative.
No, of course.
So it's okay. And they can't copyright us because we're not using something they made. If it was like an ad and then we just put the ad in.
I mean, that's not technically.
I know. It's more like music is where YouTube gets.
It's also products too.
Anyway. I can't do jingles. I can do jingles because it's not the original song.
Jingle,
whatever.
bro. Again, you're short again. No, you're fine. Stay short. I
had the Beijing beef and then the orange chicken with fried rice and egg roll. It comes with egg roll. It actually didn't come with an egg roll. I'd order that separately.
Yeah.
And you had?
Orange chicken and beef and broccoli.
But it was really good. Yeah. We haven't had it in a long time.
We haven't. It was a good recommendation.
Man, listen.
It was a good recommendation.
What wasn't a good recommendation is we somehow dropped 11 people once we started talking about Panda. So clearly the food review is not going to be a staple for this show.
It wasn't in the description, right?
No.
So that was the surprise thing. So what do you think we should jump into first, guys? Should we discuss our record being beat or the beautiful subject that took over last night? It seemed like. I'm gonna take this off so I can drink out of it.
Oh, he's really not trying to give that promo away.
I don't want to. We're trying to make these videos so they don't disappear like the last ones.
The advertising won't. I think Facebook's different than YouTube in that.
Well, that's right.
I don't think that's.
It wasn't why we got it last time. I just know YouTube is much more picky.
Our 4,000 subscriber channel.
Yeah, hey, we're almost at 5.
Damaging them. Speaking of, we just hit 4,500 followers. So whoever that one guy is that pushed it to 45 or 44.99, thank you. I have a very special discount for you. It's our Black Friday sale, which is still ongoing to the end of the month. If you get your parts and partial labor deposit in before the 30th, we can lock in those prices, whether it's a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got discounts for a whole ton of a bunch of stuffs. So let me know what you need, and I'll get you set up.
Yeah.
Look at that pitch, baby.
There we
It's
go.
like I'm a sales guy.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. We're trying out the Bluetooth head, the microphones again to see. So
that answers our question. Well, actually, we have two different ones.
yeah,
that was yesterday's stuff, though. Technically,
well, it's both of you. So we'll start with the. All right, cool. So we'll start with the discussion at hand. So we had a customer that reached out to us they wanted an in-house dyno tune. Now this vehicle is highly modified, built and tuned by somebody else already, and then they wanted to bring the vehicle to us in-house for a dyno tune. Now my rule, again, I set this in place, is if we get a vehicle that is pre-modded and pre-tuned by anybody else, that we have to perform a health check on it, is what we dub it as. So what is the health check? Well, this vehicle, again, was a 5.7 vehicle that was highly modified, boosted now, aftermarket fuel system, the whole shebang.
It also is currently experiencing issues,
right?
Hence why he's coming looking for a new tune.
It's not driving and doing what's expected. So this is why he's seeking another tuner. So anybody who knows that I've tuned with, that a vehicle has to be mechanically sound for anybody out there to tune a vehicle. So more red flags go up when we hear that somebody is having issues. The first thing everybody likes to do is blame the tuner without taking responsibility for the mechanical side. So before I go and put my name on the tune side of it, we want to do our due diligence and make sure it's mechanically sound. So our general health check consists of a basic compression check, in which we do pull all of the spark plugs as well. So it's not just 8 of them. We do pull all 16 and check the gap on each one and the condition. What we have found over time, you can see wrong temperature spark plugs, incorrect gap. You can see different spark plugs, because somebody was trying to diagnose or troubleshoot something, so they just replaced spark plugs on one cylinder, right? Again, this tells us kind of the health of the engine, and it allows us to make sure that the spark plugs are accurate based on the modification. So again, this is this example was a 5.7 car that a blower was added to it. So then you continue on. We verify all of that is good. We then, especially because a blower was installed, do a smoke test on the intake side. Why? Vacuum leaks stink. And as an example, he just showed the Whipple that was put on. We smoke tested when we put them on. And still, sometimes they develop leaks there on after.
That one was a brand new refurbished unit.
Right.
Most people are just going to slap that on. It's brand new. Why is it going to have issues? Lo and behold, we would have had, we found issues.
Right.
So
we had issues. It was strong. It was showing super lean, negative timing at idle. So we had a lot of issues there. So that's why in this particular application, yes, you put a blower in a car that doesn't have a blower, we're going to make sure it was installed correctly. Don't think there's a problem with that, right? Carrying on to that, we also do a coil inspection. So what we do there is we actually remove the boots off of every coil, pull out all the electrodes and all the metal contacts, and
16 boots, 16 connectors, 16 springs.
Right. So we make sure that there's no corrosion. If there is, we attempt to clean them and then put them back in. That is the number one cause we see that creates misfires on the Gen 3 Hemi, is the coils and or the contacts. So it takes time to pop all those caps off, lay them on a table, document it, clean them if need be, and put them back together. So that was another piece on there. Then we have a line item for vehicle inspection. And what that is we literally put the vehicle in the air. It's going to go on a dyno. We've never seen this car before. Most of the cars we do this for, we've never seen them before. We get them in the air to make sure the axles are good, the drive shafts are good. You won't believe how many times we see loose bolts on drive shafts and or axles if they're
fuel lines touching drive shafts.
Yep, fuel lines touching drive shafts, even fuel lines touching exhaust.
Or wrapped around it.
Yep. So this is why we take the time to do that, okay? So people that didn't like that, I mean, you're talking, we have 6-8 hours of labor built into this health check.
That's a full day before we're even able to begin tuning.
Right.
If the vehicle is mechanically sound, because if it's not, we obviously let the customer know before we, charge them the money for the tune and go do it and say, hey, we can't tune the vehicle with this. What do you want to do?
Right.
Some customers, oh man, I'll just come pick it up. They fix it, bring it back. We inspect it. It's good to go. Other times they'll have us perform the labor. But the thing is we found an issue that would have prevented us from tuning. So rather than wasting your time of saying, oh yeah, come on down, get a tune, you expect, oh, my car's going to be running, and then it's not. Or taking our time where we could schedule a vehicle that we already had here that we know is going to be good the first time it goes in the dyno. It works against both of us. So it lets us provide a better experience start to finish for everyone involved, not just for us, for making it easy for us, not just for you, for giving you, clear conscience before you add power or smooth out something that was started previously that never got finished, it's best for everyone, because then we're able to go in knowing exactly what we're dealing with without, any, I don't know because I didn't build it. I think it should be. I hope it is. We know.
Yeah. So, that's the reason behind it. Like Tulo mentioned, when somebody, and we've done it over the years, this is something that's developed over time from us learning. Okay. So we used to be the ones that somebody calls us and say, I want a dyno tune. Perfect. Bring it in. But over the years, as more and more hands get into the mix, the more people modify, we start seeing more and more issues. So like he said, again, this isn't me being greedy, but we are a business before anything. So in an example on this one, it's roughly $1,000 worth of tuning plus the dyno time, right? So from a business standpoint, we have locked in $1,200 for that day. And then a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you just get it on and, flash a tune and then get a data log, and then you can see from the initial data log if there's issues. Well, one, you might not. Some of these issues don't show themselves right away because we are starting out tuning a highly modified car. So we have to try and dial this stuff in so we don't know if we're battling mechanical issues.
We're also, on this one, not starting with a stock tune, which happens more than you think, which means we can't just go in and make our normal changes because we don't know who was tuning it. So we don't know if there's things that should not be touched that have been touched. That are going to counteract this. So we have to go through everything and make sure that nothing is touched that shouldn't be. That takes significant time because there's a ton of different files, folders, whatever you want to call it, to look at. We need to be compensated for that.
Yeah. So, in the example, just basic, even if it was a stock tune file, $1,200 for the day. I've actually had a car that showed up, and this is real life example, showed up on the trailer, wouldn't run to come off. So I'm like, oh, I'll flash a tune. Started it, and there was a 30% or a 60% bang-to-bang variance. It turned out that fast forward, the car not only had exhaust leaks, vacuum leaks, but the cam in it was mistimed. Brand new, put together by somebody else, and they trailered it here. So the first time it started was on the trailer because they said they weren't comfortable remote tuning. So mind you, that day was locked in for the dyno. I was expecting to put my effort and time into this vehicle.
Nothing else scheduled. Locked that day.
And then they actually drove from out of state, just like this customer that posted the estimate yesterday. So they drove out of state. So they literally show up, flash that, go, sorry, there's a mechanical issue. Now, something to understand, guys, our mechanical schedule is different than our tuning schedule, okay? So I have my two technicians that are working on jobs that were scheduled, constantly on it. They can't just stop what they're doing to now jump onto this car that was scheduled for dyno only.
All that work out there, when I do the weekly walkthrough, those cars aren't in there because on Monday we said, we're going to work on him. This is pre-scheduled weeks in advance.
Right.
So sometimes for active customers, when we reach out, we might tell you, you're in line for a lift. We're just waiting for a lift to open up. That's because you're scheduled. That way we can make sure that everyone gets in when they need to get in. So no one's, at the end of the line or whatever. It's fair for everyone. So it has to be scheduled. We can't just, push someone off real quick that's been waiting to go on 3 weeks because header bolts weren't tight. We need to schedule that.
Yeah. So that's the whole reason why we implement something like that. So, it's interesting to see the comments what people say when a guy says, I requested a tune. What do you think about this? And then he puts the estimate up. Now, one thing, and there's a couple people in here that even commented and they went to attack the quote right away. The OP didn't even give the full disclosure of why he was reaching out. Let me finish. My bad. They're excited. So they didn't even get the full scope of things. And this is the problem with the internet and what you guys are seeing out there. Now, the other side of it, too, is even after I made a post, I went out there, I'm like, hey, it's me. No problem saying that, right? And I tried explaining the situations why. We literally had people on there that were saying, oh, you shouldn't have to do any of that before and put it on the dyno. If it blows up, then just charge them a cleanup fee. So let me get this straight. Calm down. You want me to put a car in the dyno, have it explode. Now, for those that don't understand, sometimes when these things blow up, they can shoot metal pieces 20, 30, 40, 50 feet away. So now I'm jeopardizing my employees, I'm jeopardizing other customer cars. So me just being lazy and not taking these steps to be proactive and do some verification, I should just risk it to take the money for tuning. Now, blows up, right? Now I'm going to reach out and collect a cleanup fee. Well, now this guy's going to be upset because his car just blew up on the dyno. And guess who he's going to blame? Me, right? Why am I going to take that risk, right? How do you not know there wasn't a clogged injector? So we had a lean cylinder and we didn't know, right? I'm dialing in field trims, don't know, and do a hit and melt the cylinder down to the point where a rod shot out. You don't know. How do I know I'm just going to do a wide open throttle pull and have a ton of misfires on it? You don't know. If I don't know, why would I take the risk and just throw it on to try and satisfy the customer instead of doing what's right for them and us, right? We actually have 4 or 5 customers' vehicles here that they wanted tunes only, and we said, hey, we got to do this health check. And we ended up finding parts were missing, low compression, transmission was bad. I mean, we found a ton of stuff before we went to tuning. So understand that if I would have jumped into that right away to tune it, guess what? Automatically the responsibility goes on us, right? And the last thing I want is somebody get hurt or somebody's vehicle to be damaged. And I mean, my dyno's expensive, guys. Have you ever seen a drive shaft fall in a dyno and what carnage it can do? And I'm just supposed to sit back and go, I'm not going to take these extra steps, and then I'm going to get chewed out for it on the internet. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, and this is one of the problems with the internet is people don't get the full scope. They automatically assume and they jump right in and, you know, start to throw these things around. So it's a, you know, SOP, standard operating procedure. If anybody comes to us pre-modified, we do a health check of some way, shape, or form. And it's not a money grab, guys. It's literally protection for the customer and myself. You know, right. So another thing about it too is somebody's like, oh, why? Well, if they want to do the work themselves, why can't they do it and tell you it's done? I had a dealer that swore up and down that they did a compression check and everything was fine.
A dealer.
Okay, they're swearing they wanted us to tune this car because they accidentally flashed the computer back to stock after it was modified. Swore up and down. It came here and it had no compression in 2 cylinders.
They said it had good compression and all.
All right. So again, not trying to say I don't trust you, but I'm going to trust myself and my employees and what we do here in the procedures over somebody else. Again, if I would have taken the word of it of that dealer, put it on the dyno and started to try and drive it and beat the snot out of it, something would have happened. Either could have failed or the power would have been down, and then they're upset with me because I didn't cover my steps to make sure the vehicle is mechanically sound. My terms of service, anybody I talk to, anybody I tune for, know the importance of a vehicle being mechanically sound. And that's from intake leaks, exhaust leaks, cam timing, injectors being clean, coils being good, because a tuner cannot fix or override a mechanical defect or issue in any way, shape, or form. Okay, guys? There's ways to hide it. You can turn off misfire counter, disable your knock sensor, right? Turn off long-term field trims. There's ways where people can hide it. So if anything, you should be concerned of those shops that oh, you need a dyno tune, bring it to me, I'm going to do it right away, because are they truly there for your best interest? Are they the long-term reliability of it? Yes, 50-50 gamble. This car might be perfect. I can put it on the dyno and it will be fine, but there's also a chance it's not. And when you own a business, especially when it comes to high performance, especially for the age of the vehicles now, we don't gamble. We don't take risks. That's not what my business is here to do. So, yeah, you might not agree with it. Don't come here. You don't need to badmouth it, though. You don't need to not understand or tell me that I should take the risks for it. You know, and that's kind of one of the interesting things. So the reality is, you know, all the tuners that might check in and watch this, I hope you start to do the same thing. And turn it into an industry standard, because this will help prevent the bad names going around if you truly care and you are a good tuner. This will help prevent damage to people's vehicles. This will help prevent harm to your dyno and or shop and people. Like, I don't understand why it's such a bad thing. And it is a lot of time. I get it that the backyard mechanic might be able to do a compression check in a half hour. You know what I mean? But that was the other thing, is they said the time we were charging, it's 3 hours for us to do the compression check and spark plug verification. Okay, guys, you got to understand this. So if you go to a dealer, their book time per Mitchell Pro Demand is 2.2 hours for just a spark plug change, okay?
That's just a change.
That's a change. If you add a compression check in, they add 0.75 to 1.25 hours depending on the vehicle.
Does the dealer gap spark plugs, or they just get the pre-gap ones?
They just buy them in
boxes and
now,
throw them in.
And so that's something that, like, it's so interesting being a performance speed shop, specialty shop, whatever you want to call it. People think we should be cheaper than a dealer, when we are. Our hourly rate is cheaper than our local Dodge dealers by quite a bit. But they still want us to charge less. And again, keep in mind, this isn't a fresh build. This isn't the first time. We are coming into a project that somebody else did. So people want us to charge the same as that original guy that couldn't handle it, that couldn't do it right the first time. I just don't think that's fair. I don't think it's right. So yeah, we charge 3 hours for a compression check and verifying the gap on it. I will be honest with you. It might take us less than 3 hours. It absolutely might. But that's the whole thing, guys, is we do this over and over and over, and we get good. We get better in it. We can do it quicker, just like dealers. Trust me, it doesn't take them 2.2 hours to do it. But if you go for a spark plug change, that's what they're going to bill you. That's the industry. That's how it works, guys. Just because we build the experience and the ability to go faster doesn't mean we should be, negatively impacted compensation-wise just because we're good at what we do. But in the same token, we're not doing the exact same thing. We literally take the plugs out, gap each one, lay them down out so you can see it. Same with the electrodes. We lay it out, gap it before and after. If they're dirty, we show how dirty they were and how they were after. So it's not the exact same as what a dealer is doing that doesn't care, right? And there's more that kind of goes into the procedures and steps that we take. So it's to protect the customer. It's to protect us. I've had plenty of guys that came here for a tune that I've turned away because during the health check, we found things that we weren't good, and we ended up not doing what we needed to do.
We had a customer who bought a Durango with boost on it.
No, he didn't buy it. He put the boost on it. The Durango 392.
You're
he
right.
put the boost on it and ran the boost
on it. And he was like, I think there's more in it. I want a tune. So we did a health check. Lo and behold, his compression was all good. But two of the smart plugs in cylinder 1 were completely smashed. That doesn't make sense. We put a borescope down it, and he's missing a chunk of his piston. Had we not done that, we just would have thrown this hurt vehicle on the dyno with a chunk of his piston missing and just tried to make power. How's that going to turn out?
Yes. Yeah, it was I believe it was a Whipple. I think it was a Pro Charger. It was a Pro Charger.
It was a Pro Charger setup.
Pro Charger, and he had the can tune from him. And he drove on it for a while. He had thousands of miles on it and didn't reach out to us because he had an issue. He just heard that a custom tune was better. Again, I have this protocol in place to where we have to do the health check. I didn't tune the car. I ended up not tuning it because he literally had a chunk of piston missing. So it's not a money grab, guys. No. This is literally to protect you as a customer.
And that's not the only time that's happened where health checks have turned up negative and the customer goes to figure out what they're going to do with it on their own terms. We're not going to force a tune on someone with a hurt setup. Yeah, we also had a customer that bought a vehicle that was pre-modified, told him made 1200 wheel, had a list of parts that were on it. So again, we're doing the health check. Along the way, we found issues. They stripped out coils, so they weren't even bolted down. The spark plugs installed were not what he was told, and they were gapped incorrectly. So again, if I just were to assume in this and go, because I have a piece of paper that says it, I'm not throwing this car in the dyno with incorrectly gapped plugs. And missing parts. Some of the parts that were on the list that are important weren't on the car. Yeah. So again, we're not in the business to assume. And similar to my remote tuning, when it comes to why do I need a wideband, I simply will ask you the question of if you could know 100% confidently, what's your AFR. You can't unless you have a gauge. Same thing. You don't know what your compression is unless you physically see it. You don't know what your spark plug is unless you physically see it. And if you're going to rely on that last person to say they put spark plugs in it and gapped it correctly, but you're coming to me to redo it because you're not having a good experience, I don't trust them, so you shouldn't, and that's part of this. So, yeah, I really think any dyno facility should run a vehicle inspection and safety check over. How many times have we found tires with metal showing on them, right? Just show up. Right? And lower Jeeps, man. The lower Jeeps are bad. But found torn boots on axles. We found, like I said, drive shaft bolts backed out. People literally come from the racetrack the week before and there's drive shaft bolts backed out. Fuel rail bolts, hand tight, where it could wobble off, and then you just have spraying fuel on your, burning hot exhaust manifold. That's a bad idea. Yeah. So it's one of those guys that, like I said, it's not a money grab. I'm not out to try. It's more. It's just and this is the other thing too for those that